Alright, good morning 5B, this is Mr. Wong speaking. Today we'll be going through the answers for last week's homework, which is question 8 to 10. And then after that, your homework today is to finish up the worksheet, question 11 and 12, as well as the exercise 4 in your activity book. And then hopefully by tomorrow, we can start a little bit on electricity, and then for the rest of the HPL, we'll be just talking about electricity. Alright, so let's look at question 8. There are certain things I wish that you will highlight as you go through the question. Okay, so let's start highlighting. It says here that Gina observed a plant cell, so we know it's a plant cell. And then there are certain parts that she observed. She observed there's an oval-shaped nucleus. There's a giant vacuole here, which actually they have indicated to you. They also said something about the small round chloroplast around the vacuole, not just one but many. And there's a cell wall and a cell membrane. There's a cell wall and a cell membrane. Okay, so this is basically parts of a plant cell. So what they would want you to do is part 1, based on the observation, complete the drawing of the plant cell of the leaf. Complete the drawing. So let's follow the checklist here. You have a nucleus, so let's draw in the nucleus. Okay, so let's use maybe black color. Okay, I'll draw in a nucleus. The nucleus is quite big, so draw a big one over here like that. Then maybe you want to shade it. Okay, so this is my nucleus. Later on we'll label that's for part 2. And then there's a vacuole, it's already mentioned, drawn for you as well. There are small little round chloroplasts, so let's use green color and draw the small little chloroplasts. They must be smaller than the nucleus. Nucleus is usually bigger, chloroplast usually smaller. So I'll just draw a small one here, small one here, small one here, small one here. Definitely there's more than one, so draw as many as you can. A small one here, a small one here, a small one here, and a small one here. Later we'll label. Cell wall, I know there's a cell wall outside here, and the cell membrane is the inner line here. So these are the parts that you should draw. So for part 1, you should draw in a nucleus. You should draw in many chloroplasts over here. Right, so part 2, label. So label is quite simple. Let's start from the nucleus. This is my nucleus, so I'm going to draw down. So let's label the nucleus. So this is my nucleus. Nucleus, please make sure you spell it correctly. It is N-U-C-L-E-U-S and not U-E-S, not nucleus, it's nucleus. Okay, so this is nucleus. Now we do the same for cytoplasm. Not cytoplasm. Got your nucleus. Now let's talk about chloroplast. So this is your chloroplast. So chloroplast is here. In your cell wall. So let's label our cell wall. Draw in a line. This is my cell wall, the outside one. And then after that, my cell membrane. So let's draw a line. This is my cell membrane, the inside one, the inside line. So let's label them. Cell membrane. Alright. Anything else? Nah, that's it. Okay, so make sure that for every scientific drawing, every part must be labeled. So let's start from the inside. You got your nucleus, which is here. You got your chloroplast, which is all these green little circles. You got your cytoplasm, which is labeled for you. You got your vacuole, which is labeled for you. You got your cell membrane, and then you got a cell wall. So you should have 4 different parts labeled and drawing the nucleus and the chloroplast. So this is quite simple. As long as you pay attention in class, you went through all the lessons, you should know the different parts of a plant cell as well as an animal cell. So this is quite straightforward. Now we go on to question 9. Okay, question 9. Do you notice unknown cellular organism? He cannot conclude if it's an animal or plant cell. So this part we don't know. We don't know is it a plant or animal cell. So let's look at the diagram and see. So why is it so difficult to identify is it a plant or animal cell? Because if you look at the diagram itself, has parts of an animal cell and parts of a plant cell. So let's use one color to represent one type of cell. Okay, let's use green for plant. So plant cell have chloroplast, correct? Plant cell have a cell wall. So this is what makes this organism a plant cell. However, let's use red for animal cell. Plant cell, animal cell have cell membrane, yeah, both have cell membrane anyway. Animal cell also have nucleus. This cell also has a tail. And you realize for plant cell usually they don't have a tail. What do you need a tail for? Okay, so the weird thing is that you have parts of a plant cell in this organism. You also have parts of a animal cell, or parts that are common to both animal and plant cell together. So it was difficult for John to conclude whether is it a plant or animal cell. So this is the problem. So the question here is, which structure suggests that it's an animal cell? So which part of the cell over here, which part that is shown over here suggests that it's an animal cell? Is it because of nucleus, cell wall, is it because of cell membrane, cell wall, nucleus, chloroplast, or tail? So let's go each and every one and see which one suggests that it might be an animal cell. Let's go from this. Cell membrane. Think about it. Cell membrane, does an animal cell have? Yes. Does a plant cell have? Yes. So it can be either or. Cell wall. Cell wall suggests that it must be a plant cell. So it doesn't suggest that it's an animal cell. So it cannot be cell wall. Nucleus, common to both plant and animal cell. Chloroplast, only plant cell. So that's not something that suggests an animal cell. So we're only left with tail. So the answer is tail. Okay. A plant cell do not have a tail. So it's probably a animal cell, because animal cell needs to do something. Okay. So the next question, which structure in the above suggests that X is a plant cell? Okay, so once again, so you're just repeating what you have done just now. Instead, now you're talking about whether it is a plant cell. So again, which structure, let me just, yes, okay, which structure in the cell above suggests that it is a plant? So which structure is a plant? So again, we run through the different structures. So let's start from the top. Cell membrane. Cell membrane is common to both plant and animal cell, so it doesn't suggest that it must be a plant cell. Cell wall. Cell wall only plant cells have. So yes, correct. So first part, this must be a cell wall. But is it the only answer? Let's see. Nucleus, common to both plant and animal cell. Chloroplast. It only plant cell have chloroplast, and especially only leaf cell. So it's not just only cell wall, it's also chloroplast. Okay, because both cell wall and chloroplast suggest that it must be a plant cell, because only plant cell have chloroplast and cell wall. So which structure suggests that it's a plant cell? It is both cell wall and chloroplast, and not only cell wall. So sometimes in the exam you will see this kind of thing happening. You will see this structure with an S over here. Okay, if you see this kind of thing happening in an exam, it means it's either can be one or can be more than one. It depends on your understanding. So sometimes the examiner don't want to tell you whether is it one or more than one. They'll put a bracket S. So you have to think very carefully. So in this case, which structure tells me that it's a plant cell? It's both cell wall and chloroplast, because only plant cell have both cell wall and chloroplast, and especially for leaves. Okay, last one. Name one structure. Name one structure. Structure means parts. Okay, if you don't really know what does this mean, let me just draw it aside. Structure means part. Which part? Okay, so let me just link them together. Structure means part. Okay, so name one part in X that is found in both animal and plant cell. State its function. There are two, like what we said just now, we went through already. There are two things here that are common to both plant and animal cell. One is the cell membrane, the other one is the nucleus. So let's write both of them down. Okay, so is nucleus, and cell membrane. Okay, let's put another box for cell membrane. Okay, so after that, a lot of you forgot to write the function. The function is important. They are asking you for function. So after you write the part, you must tell me what's the function. Okay, so the function of nucleus, it controls the activities in the cell. Or you can say it carries, it contains the genetic information that will be passed down to the next generation. Alright, okay. So if you have written down nucleus, this is the function. You can write that it controls the activities in the cell, or you can say that it contains genetic information that will be passed down to the next generation. So if your answer is cell membrane, because they're asking for one, but actually there's two, so can I write nucleus cell membrane? So if you write cell membrane, the function of cell membrane is it controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. Okay, so if you're talking about cell membrane, the function would be to control the movement of substances going in and coming out of the cell. So it's either um, nucleus or it's either cell membrane and their respective function. So this question is quite straightforward. Okay, as long you know your parts of the animal and plant cell, clearly this question 9 is quite straightforward. Now I go on to question 10. Right, so we have cell G. Again, you have a tail. Another word for tail is flagellum. You don't have to know this, you just need to know as tail will be good. And then chloroplast we see also. So the question here is that what is the function of the tail? So you need to think about what is a tail for. Okay, why does this cell, whether it's a plant or animal cell, at this moment we don't really care, but why do the cell need a tail? Probably is for it to move. Okay, function of a tail is to move. Okay, look at a monkey, uses tail is balance. Then if you look at things like a sperm has a tail. Okay, and the tail of a sperm is to make sure that it is able to move. Okay, so tail is usually for movement. Okay, so you can write for movement, to travel, to move. Okay, so tail, the function is to move. So give a reason why G is a plant cell. So why is it a plant cell? How do we know from this diagram it's a plant cell? So if you look closely and think about why is it a plant cell, the first thing you will see is the chloroplast, which I will highlight in green. So chloroplast, this cell has chloroplast. So the evidence here is that this cell has chloroplast. So what is the reasoning? Why does it have chloroplast means it must be a plant cell? Because only plant cells have chloroplast. So you cannot just tell me that it has chloroplast and full stop, which a lot of you did. You must tell me, yes, it has chloroplast. So what? Because only plant cells have chloroplast. So a lot of you miss out the reasoning part. Most of you just write the evidence because that's what you see, but you forgot to write the reasoning. So let's write this down. Okay, because it has chloroplast. And only plant cells have chloroplast. Okay, so let me just highlight to you which part that is important for you. So you realize that, okay, this is the evidence. Let me write down over here. This is the evidence because this is what you can see from the diagram. So this is your evidence. And let's highlight the other part to show your reasoning. and then this is your reasoning. So if you go back to CER technique, the claim is already given to you. The claim is that it's a plant cell. So what is the evidence? The evidence that it has chloroplast. So what's the reason here? Only plant cell have chloroplast. Okay, so this is where CER technique comes from, or how CER technique is applied. You have your claim, which is a plant cell, which is already given to you. Sometimes you have to determine yourself, and then you have your evidence, is what you can see, and then lastly you have your reasoning, which is your scientific concept coming in. Okay, so you have your claim, evidence, reasoning. Claim is a plant cell, evidence that it has chloroplast because that's what you can see from the diagram. Reasoning is that only plant cells have chloroplast. So a lot of you only tell me the evidence, but you forgot about the reasoning. So you must always follow up by the reasoning because it's the CER technique. Okay, last one, the most simple one. Which one is true? I want true. I want the one that is true, that is correct. Okay, so put a statement which are true. All plant cells have chloroplast. Okay, two words I want to highlight here. All and chloroplast. All plants have chloroplast. True or not true? Think about it. Do all plant cells have chloroplast? I know leaf cells have chloroplast. Do root cells have chloroplast? Do flower cells have chloroplast? Do fruit cells have chloroplast? The answer is no. It's not true. You don't have to put an X, but I'm going to put an X here to show you that not all plant cells have chloroplast because only leaf cells have chloroplast. So I'm going to write over here, only leaf cell have chloroplast. Okay, so so you have to read very carefully. Not all plants have chloroplast, only leaf cells have chloroplast. So it's wrong. A mouse is made out of many cells, correct? A mouse is a living organism. It's a body, is the animal itself. So animal is not only one cell, animal is many cells. So this is correct. So it's made of many cells, correct? I would probably highlight the word many cells over here. The nucleus controls the activity. Nucleus controls the activity, correct. Again, is something that we said just now, I think in question 8. So this is correct. The nucleus controls the activity in the cell, correct. And the last one, cell membrane gives the plant cell its shape. Do cell membrane give the plant cell shape? Think about it. Answer is no. The cell membrane do not give the plant cell the shape. If not, then who is the one that gives the plant cell its shape? It is the cell wall. The cell wall gives the plant cell its shape because it keeps it in a regular shape. Okay, so this part is wrong. So it's not the cell membrane, it's the cell wall that gives the plant cell its shape. Okay, so this is the answer for question 8, 9, and 10. Your homework is to get question 11 and 12 done on ClassKit as well as on the worksheet, as well as refer back to your systems activity book, exercise 4. Okay, this for cells. Okay, so I think it's on page, let me just check. Okay, exercise 4 on your activity book is page 32 and 33. So all this homework you can see on ClassKit as well. So do it on ClassKit and also on the worksheet and the activity book. We'll go through the answers tomorrow and then we'll start on electricity. Thank you very much.